Welcome to this informative video on one of the most crucial geopolitical issues of India, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, commonly known as POK. This region was annexed by Pakistan through violence in 1947, and since then it has remained a bone of contention between India and Pakistan. In this video, we will delve into the history of POK and would try to understand India's stance on this matter. We will seek to understand why India has faced challenges in reclaiming this occupied territory. We would also try to understand if India can reclaim POK in future. I am going to touch on almost all the relevant points related to Kashmir in this video today. Stay tuned to understand how Jammu and Kashmir were annexed to India. We will try to understand about Plebiscite, Shimla and Karachi Agreement, etc. This video is important for those who are preparing for UPSC and for general awareness too. So watch till the end to learn more and grow more. Before I move further, let's understand some facts associated with POK. POK is a part of Jammu and Kashmir and it constitutes around 30% of the total land of the region, which amounts to approximately 2.22 lakh square meters. Pakistan occupies 30% of the west, while in the east about 10% of the land is under Chinese control, leaving India with 60% of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan occupied Kashmir is an autonomous territory which has been divided by Pakistan into two parts. The first one is Pakistan controlled Kashmir and the second one is Gilgit-Baltistan. Both are extensions of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's controlled Kashmir is divided into 10 districts wherein Muzaffarabad is the capital of the region. Comparatively, Gilgit and Baltistan is 5 times bigger than Pakistan controlled Kashmir. Gilgit-Baltistan is divided into 10 districts and 3 administrative divisions are there. Geographically, this region has more than 57,000 meters and above mountain peaks. It also has the world's 3 longest glaciers found outside polar region. Now let us understand the annexation of Jammu and Kashmir to India. In the year 1947, during the time of partition, when India was going through a big change, Jammu and Kashmir, like many other provinces, was in turbulence. When the British government abandoned its paramountcy policy of the princely states, the Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir was left with 3 choices: to join India, to join Pakistan, or to remain independent. However, making this decision was not easy for the Maharaja, and according to some historians, he also imposed certain tax policies on his people. People went up in arms against the Maharaja. As he tried to suppress the uprising brutally, people in Poonch took over almost the whole district and provincial government was established on October 3, 1947 in Rawalpindi. After a few days, on October 21st, the Pashtun tribe from northwest frontier province entered Jammu Kashmir intending to annex the region to Pakistan. They successfully captured Muzaffarabad and Baramulla and the situation became tense. 3 days later, on October 24th, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Home Minister of India at that time, received a crucial phone call from the Maharaja Hari Singh for help. Sardar Patel firmly stated that he would only offer assistance if the Maharaja signed the instrument of accession. 2 days later, on October 26th, Maharaja Hari Singh took the significant step of signing the instrument of accession, officially joining Jammu and Kashmir to India. As a result, India swiftly sent its troops to Srinagar, and the decision led to a war with Pakistan. The Indian army displayed remarkable strength, pushing back the Pakistani forces. Now let's understand the aftermath of Jammu and Kashmir accession to India. On January 1st, 1948, our Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru brought the Jammu and Kashmir issue before the United Nations. In April 1948, the UN passed Resolution 47, which outlined 3 crucial steps to be taken. Firstly, the Pakistan troops were supposed to withdraw from Jammu and Kashmir. Secondly, India was expected to maintain only minimal Indian troops in the state. And finally, a plebiscite was proposed to be held after the withdrawal of the troops. A plebiscite is a voting process in which the entire population of a country or district expresses their opinion on a proposal, particularly when it comes to choosing a government or ruler. Unfortunately, the plebiscite never took place as expected after the UN's involvement, mainly due to Pakistan's failure to withdraw its troops from Jammu and Kashmir. Instead, in 1949, a ceasefire line was established through the Karachi Agreement, Both India and Pakistan maintained their existing position, which closely resembles the modern day line of control. Then, in 1963, according to the Sino-Pakistan Agreement, Pakistan gifted 5,000 square meter to the Trans-Karakoram Tract, also known as Shaksgam Tract, to China. This area, Shaksgam, is now under Chinese control and located to the north of the Gilgit-Baltistan. In 1972, a ceasefire was officially designated as the line of control, and an agreement known as Shimla Agreement was signed between India and Pakistan. According to this agreement, both countries agreed to address the dispute through bilateral talks only. On February 22, 1994, the Indian Parliament passed a resolution stating that the state of Jammu and Kashmir has been, is, and shall be an integral part of India. It demanded that Pakistan must vacate the illegal occupied territories of India. Recently, on 5th of August, Article 370 was revoked in Jammu and Kashmir, and special status of the state was removed by Indian government. On September 26, 2020, during the UN General Assembly, India reiterated its stance and discussed extending its physical jurisdiction. However, recently, Pakistan also declared Gilgit-Baltistan as provisional 5th province, violating both Karachi Agreement and Shimla Agreement. Here we need to understand why POK is so important to India. Pakistan occupied Kashmir holds immense significance for India due to several compelling reasons. Geographically, it shares borders with multiple countries, including Pakistan to the west, the Wakhan corridor in the northwest, Afghanistan, and China's Xinjiang province to the north. We need to understand that in terms of natural resources, POK is richly endowed. The region boasts considerable hydroelectric potential, particularly in areas like Mirpur and Muzaffarabad. Additionally, valuable resources such as gold, coal, chalk, graphite, and bauxite are also found here. From a geopolitical standpoint, the situation becomes even more intricate. China's substantial investment of $50 billion in China-Pakistan Economic Corridors (CPEC) adds a complex dimension. The corridor traverses through the POK region, presenting a considerable threat to the sovereignty of our country. Now let's move on to the reasons why capturing POK has proven challenge for India. The rugged mountain terrains of POK create obstacles for India's access, while Pakistan's lower elevation territories have an advantage in accessing POK. India has upheld its tradition of refraining from initiating attacks for a long time. However, if Pakistan initiates a conflict, it might create an opportunity for India to reclaim POK. POK harbors jihadists and extremists with anti-India and pro-Pakistan sentiments, making the region volatile and resistant to Indian influence. In Gilgit and Baltistan, non-Kashmiri population do not identify strongly with Kashmir, making it challenging for India to garner support from the people of POK. China's One Belt, One Road and CPEC initiatives complicate the situation further. India's intervention in POK could potentially trigger involvement from China. And finally, the main reason it's hard for India to take back POK is because three countries, India, Pakistan and China, all have very powerful nuclear weapons. According to NTI, Nuclear Threat Initiative, Pakistan has almost 280 kgs of weapon-grade plutonium stockpile. And if there was a big fight involving these nuclear weapons, it would lead to a very serious problem for the whole world. Because of this, capturing POK has always been a big challenge for India. So what options India is left with, and how can it strengthen its stance on POK? India's first option is to establish a POK administration in exile involving POK refugees. This would give platform for the refugees to express their concerns and become part of the administration. By doing so, India could gain the support of the POK population, highlighting Pakistan repression and isolating Pakistan on the global stage. Number 2. In Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly, there are 24 vacant seats reserved for the POK region. The Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019 specifies that these seats will remain vacant until Pakistan withdraws from the region and democratic representatives are appointed. India could consider amending this act to allow democratic participation from POK. The people of Gilgit-Baltistan feel neglected in Pakistan and suffer from discrimination. Inviting Gilgit-Baltistan representatives and pro-Indian activists to India could help address their concerns and foster support for India's stance. We must understand that the increasing Chinese presence in POK has raised concerns among the local population. Initiating open dialogue with China to address investments concerns related to the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is also known as CPEC, could be advantageous. However, Pakistan's history of supporting anti-India insurgents complicates the matter. India can also leverage Afghanistan's political landscape. Afghanistan's political instability due to insurgencies offers opportunities. If a pro-India government emerges in Afghanistan, India could benefit. Providing military support to Afghanistan could aid India in capturing POK. Lastly, India needs global support for its stance on POK. International backing would strengthen India's position and create pressure on Pakistan to address the POK issue. Now, we must also understand what happens if we acquire POK. While acquiring POK could potentially bring about a sense of territorial integrity, it might not guarantee lasting peace. The region has history of conflict and insurgency. Even after acquisition, tension with Pakistan and internal challenges could persist. India currently allocates a significant portion of its defense budget, around 35%, to manage the security challenges in Jammu and Kashmir. Acquiring POK would require even more resources, potentially diverting funds from other important sectors like infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Dealing with insurgency in Kashmir and support of Pakistan-based terror groups is a complex and ongoing task. Acquiring POK might not immediately resolve these challenges, and counter-insurgency efforts could still be necessary. Acquiring POK could potentially redirect India's focus from development activities. Natural resources and funds that might have been used for development could be diverted towards security and stabilization efforts. We must understand that the revocation of Article 370 should be followed by comprehensive development measures in Jammu and Kashmir. Economic growth, infrastructure development, and improvement of the quality of life for the local population are crucial steps to gain their support. To pursue a strong stance on POK, the Indian government needs to unite regional parties and stakeholders. A unified national approach will send a strong message to the international community and could possibly influence the resolution of the issue. Before I conclude, I would request you to subscribe this channel because, believe me, these videos take a lot of effort. Your like, share, and subscribes would help us keep on moving. In conclusion, while acquiring POK might hold a strategic significance, it also comes with challenges. Lasting peace would require a multifaceted approach, including economic development, addressing internal conflicts, and generating the support of the local population. A united effort and a focus on comprehensive development are crucial for the peaceful and stable future for the region and for our country. Thank you very much. Learn more and grow more.